Hi, everyone. My name is Christine from Global Education Therapy, and today we're doing a holiday survival guide with the kids. So it's travel, jet lag, gifts, you name it. For the season, we wanted to do something a little fun, a little light, and something that many of our families ask us about and whatnot. So before we start, we are going to go ahead and go over our sponsors and partners. So we have April Remfrey, who is our disability inclusion consultant, who can help with international schools and advocacy. We have Hemispheres Academy, which is our online school for globally mobile families. We also have Embrace Behavior Change, our parent coach who helps families with behavioral difficulties. And we also have Sunday Bean, who is our newest sponsor today. And what she is, along with her coalition of consultants, they help with transition. They help with globally mobile families and individuals. So they have a very new rebranded program called Adapt and Succeed, which is something you guys should definitely check out. All right, and we are also associated with Safe Passage and Cydia. What will we review? So just a heads up, all the information and advice is from What to Expect, Condé Nast, and you, so our GET community and families. One of the things we will go over, in addition to jet lag, gift guides, and stuff like that, is just tips and tricks for traveling via car, train, public transportation, as well as the plane. Just a heads up, I am not an expert in travel whatsoever. I'm just someone who's traveled with kids, without kids. In fact, a little personal tidbit, I will be flying stateside from Europe next week. So we'll see if I follow any of my recommendations. But once again, this is just a helpful resource for our families and just something fun we want to do for our community. So first off, for car travel, if this is your first time traveling at all, car, in my opinion, if it's like under 5 hours, is the easiest, just because you have the most flexibility. You can plan driving, you can plan your route, you can bring as much as you can, right? And snacks are pretty easy because you can just stuff them in little compartments and stuff. You can also make as many stops as you need to. And of course, if you have a child under 1 or 6 months in the car seat, you really don't want them to stay in the car seat for more than 2 hours. Some portable snack ideas are, string cheese, those yogurt packs, fruit packs, crackers, rice crackers, things like that. But what's nice is you can bring them in the car, little bag and a little trash bag. Also, one thing that I'm sure many of us do already is plan your route during nap time. So my kid is someone who likes to sleep around 12 o'clock. So we normally leave around 11 and we try to mimic sleep routine. So we have a sleep soundtrack that we have on, and it's kind of like Pavlov's dog. It works every time and we don't know why and we don't question it. Also, another thing too is make sure you switch your drivers now and then just to help with rhythm. Just sometimes if you're tired, that helps as well. In addition, it can help with just different entertainment buddies for your kiddos. Speaking of entertainment, there are some great selections and ideas that we have, but one of the things we recommend is being selective. So in the beginning of the trip, don't go ahead with the most exciting thing. If you use screen time, no judgment. Some of us do, some of us don't, but we all use strategies that we can to travel with our kids. So one of the recommendations is not to use YouTube right away, or the exciting game, or the exciting like Game Boy right away, because that will kind of ruin the rest of the trip, especially as the trip goes longer and longer. You want to use those really exciting tools and exciting games for later when you really need them. So we normally recommend some fidgets or family games like singing, I Spy first, and then going on to the more exciting entertainment options. In addition to that, we have two really great fun accessories for the car. So the first one is the Tony box. This is great. You can see this kid has it in his car organizer. It's a music box where you can have little toys, but it also tells stories, and you can have grandparents or relatives actually record stories on there. So it's kind of a nice alternative for for YouTube and screen time if you're concerned about that. We also recommend car organizers. They help with all the entertainment, the food, the snacks, all those things that make car travel much easier. In addition to car travel, sometimes we're going to use the train, the boat, bus to get where we're going to go. So once again, we recommend to travel during off-peak seasons because it's less crowded, more space, more ability to move, especially if you have a toddler. Arrive as early as you can and get those seats as early as you can so you can set up and be prepared. Once again, just like the car, bring entertainment and food. In addition to the Tony box and things like that, we also recommend some fun sticker books and Montessori busy books that we'll go over a little bit later. And these are good for car and plane. Also, kind of like what we said with the car, with nap times, once again, you can't always plan a train, but if you can, try and mimic those typical sleep environments and habits. So if you have the same pillow or blanket that your kid likes to snuggle with, that's great. Maybe do some routines, hum a song, rock, listen to some music, watch a video, things like that can really, really help for a train trip. So some of my favorite things out there, my father-in-law actually went ahead and bought these for us. These are these great sticker book activities that are super easy to pack. But what's nice is that the stickers are vinyl. So if you have a kid that is fairly young, needs help with fine motor skills and things like that, or just like stickers, these are really easy to peel off and you can put them on the window. They're much thicker and easier to access and sort of play with. So highly recommend these. You can find them online. And of course, Montessori busy books are fantastic. So once again, if you're concerned about fine motor, if your kid needs to work on fine motor or they love fine motor things, these are great. It's a nice alternative to not using screen time and things like that. So there's like little buttons, zippers, manipulatives, and my favorite part, you can see there's a little latch thing or a little string. Mine has a latch. I love it because I can put it in on the stroller. I can put it on the seat. I can put it in the car seat. Sometimes I can put it in the high chair and you're good to go. So you don't have to worry about picking up toys back and forth. So of course, many of us are going to use the plane, myself included, and these tend to be very long flights. If you can book it this way, go ahead. But of course, as we know, airlines are really stingy. So if it's not possible, don't be upset. Don't feel bad. But if it is possible, these are great accommodations and ideas. So first of all, try your best to do a nonstop flight, or just if you have a stop, just have one. Book seats wisely. So most people recommend to have your little one by the window. If you can, booking another seat in the middle for your kid. If you want to, using a car seat is an option as well. For our kids that are a bit older, prepare your child. So read books, maybe role play, do a game, use toys, about planes and stuff, and talk about it as much as you can. Even if your child is not speaking, they may understand a lot and really want to be involved in the process. So that's something that we recommend. In addition to that, in the airport, try to check in as much luggage as you can, whether that's the stroller, car seat, bags, big bags. The less you can lug around in the airport, the better, especially if you have a toddler or a kid that gets tired, you're already carrying them. It just makes things easier. Now, of course, I say this, but I'm not following my advice because certain airlines do charge for luggage, even if it's overseas. So just double check that when you are booking. Another thing we recommend is ask for help if you're alone. So if you're with if you're alone with a kiddo, ask the flight attendant. They're there for a reason. Ask for help. And in addition to that, many of us know that when we fly, a lot of us families get to go first. Be wary about that. I think every kid is different. I know my kiddo loves to get the plane as soon as possible, so I take advantage of it. But some kids don't want to, just don't want to be in the plane for that long. Maybe you want to do it last minute. So there is the divide and conquer strategy. So you can go ahead while you're waiting to get onto the plane. You can talk to a flight attendant, so on the front desk, and ask if dad can go first or mom can go first with all the materials, all the equipment, all the luggage to set up. And then, maybe the parent with the child can come last minute so they can spend less time on a plane and things like that and less waiting. And of course, many of us know ear pain is an issue with altitude. So if you got to use the lollipops, use the lollipops. If you got to use snacks, if you need to use a bottle, and if you are nursing, feel free to breastfeed during that time. Most airlines have really good policies on breastfeeding, but of course, double check. All right, so this is something I think many of us have questions about, which is jet lag. So one of the recommendations, if you can, is go ahead, get a late afternoon, evening flight. So as soon as you get home or to the place that you're going to, you can relax while you get there, eat, relax. If you're able to get as much sleep as you can on the flight, mimic your child's sleep routines as well as your own. So if you need eye masks, ear plugs, whatever. As soon as you get there, try and eat meals as locally as you can on local times. Just eat a little bit. And another thing too is try and keep the AM, the morning, free and easy, because the first few days while kids are adjusting, they might sleep in, they might feel groggy, you might feel groggy, things like that. Now, the last suggestion is midnight snacking. Sometimes, depending on the time difference, some kids may wake up in the middle of the night and feel hungry. So have a backup in the bedroom, some dried crackers, bread, something, you're okay, that stays out of the fridge, and have a bedroom picnic. So you can be like, okay, we're all going to eat a quick cracker, maybe have some milk, and then we're going to go straight to sleep. I know it sounds easier than it is. I will be trying this and I'll let you know how it goes. But these are just some very straightforward jet lag strategies that many experts recommend. All right, so fun part, gifts. I think a lot of us traveling know gifts can be a tricky situation because everyone's different and everyone's different with checking in luggage. So if you're checking in luggage, do the traditional gifts, books, clothes, maybe small toys and things like that. But for people who are riding on a stingy airline, it's kind of hard to bring those things. So if you have to bring some gifts, I normally wrap it around my clothes. I put it at the bottom. I kind of divide it amongst the luggages. But some of the strategies we have are easily transportable gifts. So using the internet. One of the examples I love is Hey Artifact. This is actually a podcast that you can record, or you can gift the podcast for your family member to record, maybe like grandparents, and they can have their own podcast and they can share it with everyone. And it's a cool like family app that everyone can share and keep in touch. So I really like it because it's great for expats. For example, I did one with my husband about my son's first year, and we shared it with grandparents, with friends, family, and it was just a really nice way to honor our child, but also share those experiences with our family members that who don't get to see him every day. And then it's going to be nice because you can gift it to grandparents to talk about their experiences about their grandchildren, and then they can give that to their grandchildren who they may not see every day. And watch out, I also have a 20% discount or $20 discount, correction, that I will give the code in a minute after this. In addition, as we said, Tonybox is also a great gift for kiddos. They actually send all over the world. So I know they're in the US, UK, they're all over Europe. I'm not sure about Asia, but if you need to, you can just order the Tonybox at the location you're going to. and you don't even have to bring it. And it's great also for expats because you can actually record stories or let grandparents, relatives, aunts, uncles record stories. And that's really nice. The kid can listen to members of their family while they are listening to stories and songs. Another strategy we have is treating someone out. So maybe, treating them out to a meal, Groupon, gift card. And of course, there are great other options such as Snapfish albums and gifts. So, those aprons or those mugs with pictures, those are great for grandparents. And you can do that over Google Photos as well as Snapfish. Another idea that I've used is an Amazon local gift list. So for Christmas, especially if you have a kid, people want to give toys, they want to do Christmas morning. So in addition to some small things that I talked to my family about and my in-laws, we also made an Amazon gift list that people can order that will deliver to our house. And then they would go ahead and give us the receipt or like a nice little envelope card about it. So those are just some strategies and some ideas that we've used to make traveling a lot easier. The last one that I have done is like a charity of their choice. So asking people who they would like to donate to, whether it is the Red Cross or Catholic Charities or ACLU, things like that. That's kind of a nice way to do the spirit of giving, no matter where you are. So these are just some ideas that we've done. And of course, as I said, for some gift codes, Hey Artifact, the podcast thing I was talking about, you can get $20 off using this code, which is my name, Christine21. And yeah, check it out, see if it is a good deal. All right. So we are going to the FAQ section of this webinar, and these are just some questions that families have asked me in regards to travel. So I think the first one, and I think I'm in this category, is one of our families have asked that, they said, I'm really nervous about traveling. I already don't like traveling. I'm scared of airplanes. How do I deal with this? I don't want my kids to be anxious and nervous too. So once again, I don't have a magic wand for this. I too am nervous about traveling, especially next week. It's a big, big flight. However, I think one of the things that helps me is just, managing my expectations. So for me, I've told myself, all right, it's not going to go perfect. Like there are going to be times I'm going to be cranky. We're going to fight. Probably my kiddo is going to cry, have a couple tantrums. It happens, just accepting like whatever happens, happens. But then reminding myself, okay, at least I get there. At least something truly terrible doesn't happen. But as long as I get there and the end goal is to be with family, that's great. I try not to set myself up for failure and be like, okay, I'm going to do everything to avoid this and this. I normally try my best, as they say, plan for the worst, hope for the best, plan for the worst. So I think it depends who you are. I'm a little bit more of a realist, I think. So for me, just accepting, okay, it's not going to be great. It's probably going to suck. But as long as I get there, we're safe or sound, we're good. If you're more of an optimist, adjust to what works well. If you're more of a cynic, adjust to what works well. Try and find something, an expectation that you're comfortable with. Number two, and this is asked a lot, not just by parents, but just people in general. How do you give someone who's really hard to buy for, who says they don't want anything? So one of the things I try to do is figure out what that person really wants or what they really value, right? Like kind of the love languages. So if there's someone who really like spending time with you or a favor or, just something they don't have time for, maybe self-care, maybe that's something I can offer. So for example, I know for me, I really enjoy spending time with people. So I've told people, hey, like we can just go out for a meal and just treat each other out. That's fine. I know for some of my other family members, they've preferred like a self-care day. So sometimes we get a manicure together, a pedicure or spa day. I also know for some people, myself included, I have a hard time finding a hairdresser. So, like, my sister in law is a fantastic beautician. She's very good at cutting hair. And every year I'm like, that's my favorite gift is help me with my hair, help me with my kids' hair. That's great. So, in terms of gifts, just thinking about something that people really value, people really care about. Think more about what that person would like rather than what you would like to give them, because I think that's a common mistake that people make. And then lastly, and this is a tough one, and I am not an expert in this at all. I have this difficulty too. What do you do about family, relatives, or grandparents who, judge my child and have lots of critiques and have unrealistic expectations, right? Because it happens. And so I think if it happens, once again, not just managing expectations, but, having expectations of each other. So if you are comfortable with it, having a conversation when everyone's calm about, hey, this is where my child's at, you know, let's try to enjoy this holiday. Let's look at the big picture as recommended. In addition, if you're not someone who likes to have that conversation, sometimes emails can help too. Just saying, hey, this is how I feel. Let's schedule a time to talk. And things like that. I think it's important to look at the big picture, especially if it's family you haven't seen in a long time. The goal is to spend time and be together. It's to really enjoy that time, as even though it's pretty stressful. That's the goal. So trying to find a way that you both can compromise, have realistic expectations of each other, but at the end of the day, the end goal is to enjoy each other's company and have happy holidays, right? So as I say this, this is very hard. I'm not an expert, but of course, open communication is always suggested. All right, so um, happy holidays, safe travels from all our sponsors and Global Education Therapy. As you know, at Global Education Therapy, we get the help your child needs, but we can also help with lots of other things as well, such as these fun webinars. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season and stay tuned for our next calendar of webinar events for 2023.